I'm Corey Eckert, and I am 30 years old, and today is August 14th, 2013. We are in Window Rock, Arizona, and I am interviewing Patsy Billison, who I have just met, and she's the wife of a Navajo code talker, and I'm going to turn it over to Patsy.
Hello, my name is Patsy Billison. I'm 71 years old, and today's date is August 14, 2013, Navajo Code Talker Day, and we're here at the Veterans Memorial Park in Window Rock, Arizona, and my husband was Dr. Samuel Billison, a Navajo Code Talker, and when he was with the Marines, he was with the headquarters platoon reconnaissance company, 5th Marine Division, and I did not meet my husband until years after he was discharged from the service, but we had been married 42 years when he passed, November 17, 2004, and he is the, at the time he was president of the Navajo Code Talker Association, and they contracted with the association to develop a G.I. Joe action figure from Hasbro, and he's the voice for the G.I. Joe action figure. And there are 7 phrases that he speaks in Navajo code, and then he interprets it in English. And we use this for the code talkers. Hasbro provided enough for the code talkers, the living code talkers, and some of the deceased code talkers. Those were given to their families. And for the poster that we have today at the festivities here today, I went through some of his materials in the storage shed and found a few things that I didn't know he still had, like a selective service card that he filled out in 1948 when he enlisted in the Marines. I have his discharge papers and some of the other papers that he kept, and papers from the gold medal ceremony in Washington, D.C. for the first 29 code talkers. They were presented gold medals, and then the rest of the code talkers were presented silver medals at a ceremony here in Window Rock, Arizona in November of 2002 or 3.
It took a long time for the U.S. government to
recognize
how important the contributions were.
Yes, and I remember when I first met him, he never mentioned anything until after they declassified the code, and even his mom and his dad never knew what they did when he was in the Marines. And at the time the young men went in, they weren't even allowed to vote in the for the election of president.
When did they receive the right to vote?
I can't remember the year, but it was after the war was over.
And for listeners who may be listening who don't know much about Native American history, were all Native American tribes not given the right to vote, or was it?
The only one that I'm aware of is the Navajo Nation.
So the Navajo